Welcome to Excel lesson number 2. This lesson is on using the AutoSum function. These are terms you should know as we go into this unit. Range, sum function, AutoSum, and active cell. This is the definition and an example of range. Take a minute and look over this definition and the graphic. As you will notice, the range is indicated by the column letter and the row number, and it's then placed into parentheses so that it's talking about everything between B4 and E4, and you can see it indicated here on the chart. Excel will put a dotted line around it whenever we're addressing to a specific range. We'll discuss that as we get an example of the unit, and make sure you understand that it includes the cells that are indicated. This is the range of all the values between B4 and E4 and including B4 and E4, and you can see it here, B4 the 500 and E4 the 400, and all the data values between the two. The sum function. This is the sum function insert button. Sometime we are going to use a auto command that will place this function in here. This is called the sum function. What that does is it will add up everything within a given range, and you can see the value is yielded here because in this cell has this function, the sum function, the sum of everything between B4 and E4, the example we used prior, and gives us the total into this cell. Now this cell here is referred to as the active cell. It's active because we have selected it. We can do that by either clicking on the cell or scrolling through it using the arrow keys, but it's going to be highlighted in black, and that's how you know which one is the active cell. And when you've done a function, it will place the results into that active cell. Now today we're focused on AutoSum, so take a minute to look at this definition and look at the icons. And as the definition tells you, the AutoSum is a shortcut. It's up here in the upper right hand corner of the Excel ribbon, and this is a close-up of it, and it's this sideways M. Some call it a crazy E. It's this icon right here. Now let's see this in action. Here's the data that we created in lesson 1, and what we want to do is come up with a total for all these values here, and then a grand total down here. So the first things that we want to do, you're going to want to select the proper active cell. This is the cell that the final results is going to appear in. The active cell that we want for our first equation is going to be F4. We want to total everything between B4 and E4 and the results to show up in F4. So we make F4 our active cell, just simply going over it and clicking on it. We can also use our arrow keys. That's another way of navigating. But it's probably quicker and easier just to use your mouse and click on it. Next, you're going to want to click on the AutoSum button. The AutoSum button is up in the upper right, and we just click it. and you'll see Excel has made an action for you. Now, before we agree to the action that Excel has accepted, we want to verify that the correct range has been indicated. Now, in this example, the range is showing up in two areas. In the active cell area, and it's saying the sum between B4 and E4, and you can also see it up here in the function insertion box. It also says B4 through E4, but to make it even more graphic, you can see that Excel has highlighted these areas to show you the data that's going to be used in this formula, and you can verify that this is B4 through E4. Since we've verified that the data range is correct, we just simply hit the Enter key, and you will notice the formula value results are now displayed in the active cell. Now, if you want to check what the formula was, you can click on the active cell. It doesn't show you the formula here, but up in the formula box, dialog box, you will see the formula that's actually underneath this cell that's calculating how this value is resulting. Now that we've calculated our data for this cell, we can do the same for the others. However, there is a shortcut. If we simply go to the black corner until our cursor turns into a skinny black X or cross mark, you grab the cell and pull it down into the cells that you want the formula to extend to, and Excel will change the range to accommodate those cells. And then to finish this one off, we do what we did earlier, do an AutoSum, and again verify that the range is the ones that we want. In this case, we want F4 through F9 to be added up, and that's the range that we have indicated here and up in our function bar. Excel knows what typically the range you're looking for. You can adjust it, but in this case it's knowing what we're looking for. We hit the Enter key, and there's our results. Thank you.